because the critics would say that Richard Steele should have known that Melody Taylor deserved that fight. And whether you believe that or not, if Tom Brady throws a pass with 1 second left in the game and they score a touchdown, it's still a touchdown, right?
Yep.
Even though they got outplayed the whole game. Okay?
Right.
There's really no difference in boxing.
No.
If there's still a second on the clock, there's time to lose, right?
Yeah.
And again, this is like we're going back.
What are the rules, Brian? Let's see. What are the rules? They give you the standing 8 count, blah blah blah, all of this, but then they say not even the bell can save you. You know, even if the bell rings, if you're not responding to the referee's commands, I mean that fight the bell could have rung, but Richard Steele still had the right to make sure that the fighter was responding, because here's what I want people to understand. The referees are there for the fighter's safety. So it doesn't matter if Major Taylor won the whole fight. Even if the bell had rung and Richard Steele was still counting, he tells you, come forward, show me that you can walk. Can you continue? Major Taylor said nothing, man. So even if the bell had rung, Richard Steele had to stop the fight, man, for Major Taylor's protection.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this is looking way back, right? Obviously, Mildred Taylor, that fight changed him forever.
His whole life.
In a bad way, right? And
yeah.
It's something that, again, if it's a non-boxing person, a casual fan, he literally had his career beat out of him that night, right? And he did suffer brain damage, and I always look at it, and I'm trying to look at, like, okay, did he deserve to win that fight? And at the end of the day, I'm like, if Chavez hits him with another hard right left hook, he could have been dead, man.
Yeah.
Like, he was in that type of physical state that you just don't want to be in, man.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate, because he was so talented and just so athletic and whatnot, and that is kind of the negative of the sport, right? Of any sport that has that physical content. I don't think it's any different in football with all the concussions.
Yeah. Well, man, it's the good and the ugly of boxing. We've all. I mean, we've been through it. When we have. A prime example, it takes me back to, the first Marcus fight. How many people we had coming to the gym, news reporters, news anchors, I mean, we couldn't keep them away. And after that fight, it was just us, man, the team. It was a great fight, but we lost the fight. So guess what? It was just the team, and for Taylor, I think Major Taylor, I know that it was because he was so flashy, so flamboyant. He had so many people looking up to him. Like you said, he was pulling up in the Lamborghini, and all of that just basically ended in one night, man. It ended. Why? Because that's just the hard and the sad truth about the sport of boxing is that you basically have to be undefeated in order to do something, and for promoters to look at you as a potential superstar. So and even back in the days, Brian, in the 90s, let's take it back, it was even worse, man. You had one loss and you were done.
Yeah.
Now I think that there's starting to ease up a little bit. Now you can have 1 or 2 losses on your record and you'll still be considered as a contender. But back in the 90s, I mean, hell, man, I remember growing up and as an amateur boxer in the 90s, and if you had one loss, then you kind of sucked, and you were gonna be a bum for the rest of your career. So it was pretty hard, man. And Major Taylor taking that loss and the way that he took it, it was just heartbreaking, and he couldn't come back after that.
No, I mean,